Hey guys, I'm Dave and welcome to the Trull Gallery. Today we're going to install some chair railing and a wall treatment. A couple of years ago, my clients built their home and they added some wainscoting and wall treatment, but only in the dining room. After living with it for a while, they decided they wanted to add extra wall treatment and chair rail, including up the stairway. And that's where this build gets interesting.
We were able to locate the exact trim to match what they had, and I ordered enough for their project. You can't tell from this image, but the chair rail is actually two pieces glued and nailed together. We'll be adding some decorative frames under the chair rail, and all of that got painted back at the shop. Once the paint had time to dry, I took them over to my client's house, keeping them as long as possible. Most of this trim is 14 to 16 feet long. That minimizes any mid-wall joinery, but it does make it tricky to transport. Luckily, I have a long ladder that I could strap to my truck and use that to support the trim on the ride over. Adding the chair rail isn't difficult to do. I started here on a piece that had to be replaced. I mitered the end like on the piece I removed, and then I held the new rail in place to mark the left end for an outside miter cut. I took that out to my miter saw and made my first cut. I also made the mating cut on a short so I could verify the length. Once I was happy with the length, I marked the stud locations on the wall, held the rail in place at my laser line, and drove in a 16 gauge nail at either end. Then I went back and added 2 nails at each stud location, securing the piece in place. For the next piece, I located the studs and marked those locations. This is the piece I took off from the start because it had a terminated end that will go on the kitchen side to save me some time, and I'll show you how that's done later. Once I had it cut to size, it was nailed to the studs as before. That terminated end makes for a nice clean transition. If you're wondering how I'm cutting this 4.5 inch wide molding, it's with my sliding compound miter saw. I prefer to use the miter function, but the stock would be too tall, so I have to use the bevel function. It never feels as accurate, but it gets the job done. I tend to make my cuts long and sneak up on my mark, but sometimes I get lucky. Now I can just work my way around the room and it's cut, fit, nail, and repeat. Except when a switch plate gets in the way. This wall is about 6 feet long, and near the far end I had to dip the rail to clear that plate. Once the laser's turned off, that slight dip won't be noticeable. For the last 2 pieces in this area, I reset the level line to match the low end of the trim and finish that section. Once I get to the stairs, things get more complicated. I could have done some math to figure out the angle, or I could use my new digital angle finder laser from Dovo. To get started, I set it on the stair tread and zeroed it out. Then I set it on the trim board and got the angle of 35.45 degrees. We'll save that number for later. I thought it would look odd to go from the outside miter right into the angle of the stairs, so I had to figure out a small transition piece. And rather than draw on my freshly smooth and painted walls, I got out the blue tape. From those lines, I figured out where the intersection of the 2 pieces would be, marked that out on a small piece of trim, and cut that at the miter saw. My first nail pulled the trim out of alignment, so I pulled it off and tried again. This time, I made sure to nail through the flat section on the back of the trim. A bit of dry deck spackle and some sanding and that joint came together nicely. Next, I cut the mating angle on a piece of scrap trim to ensure that the angle was correct before committing to my long piece. And yes, the switch is in the way. They had an electrician move it, but he didn't go as high as we'd hoped, so they asked me to get creative with the trim. Here you can see how the laser is held to the wall in the correct position, with just a couple of push pins, and it was set close to the angle I'd measured earlier. This angle looked a little bit better, and it was just over a degree different. The far end of this piece at the landing was fitted the same way, and I trimmed out a spot for the switch plate with my jigsaw. I located the studs like before so I could securely fasten the longest bit of trim in this job. There was some juggling to align the stock and keep it on the laser line before working my way up the stairs, nailing the trim at each stud. Then, like before, a second nail was driven low in the trim. To match the angle on the next piece, I used another short, set it in place, and marked the top and bottom at the same distance from that angled end. Once my test piece fits correctly, I cut that same angle on the real deal. This angle gets cut on the left end and an inside miter on the right. Again, when I was happy with the fit, it was secured like the rest. I had let the top of the angled piece loose in case it needed some tweaking, but they met up nicely. I worked my way around the landing and added the second angled piece. While the angles were correct, there was a bulge in the wall that prevented the two pieces from lining up. I used a painter's tool to pull the left piece out and drove in a couple of shims to improve the alignment. A few taps with the hammer, a bit of fussing with the shims, and the two were much closer. The shims were secured with nails, and the excess cut off with a razor knife. The small gap was filled with more spackle, and once it dried, everything was sanded smooth. Caulking later will hide the gap between the trim and the wall. The top of the stairs needs some special treatment, since this will be where the chair rail ends. I cut an outside miter on two pieces and then trimmed one edge off at 90 degrees. The goal with this last cut is to trim right at the miter cut. The two pieces can now be glued together so the trim flows around the corner. I added glue to both faces since end grain can really soak it up, and secured the joint with lots of blue tape. Since it's late in the day, I let that sit overnight and came back the next day to sand the joint smooth. While technically correct, I wasn't happy with this end, so I made a new piece. And this actually fits the space better. It's time to add the decorative frame below the chair rail. Again, I'm matching the details from the original build. There's a 4-inch reveal at each edge, and top and bottom, so I cut a few 4-inch plywood squares to help with the layout. The top line is set with my laser, and I use my blocks to set the outside edge. This wall is short, so it gets one square. The one to the right was a bit wider, so it got two, with that 4-inch space between the panels. I know all my vertical trim is the same height, or in my case 25¼ inches, and now I can measure for the horizontal trim. With that done, I set my second laser to mark my vertical line and cut the stock for this square. When possible, I batch out the strips. I start by cutting each strip a bit oversized and cut enough pieces for each dimension needed. I've switched back to my miter saw since this material is so much smaller and I don't like having my slider in the back of my truck. With the blanks cut, I set my saw for a 45-degree cut and cut one end of all my blanks. Just make sure the trim is facing the correct way. Next, I change the angle of my saw for the opposing cut, set up an extended fence and a stop, and once I get the length correct, I can cut out all the pieces for that length. To attach the trim, I know it's not necessary, but sometimes I like to add a bead of caulk to the trim before securing it in place. I set it in place along the vertical line with the top at the horizontal line and nail it in place with 23 gauge pins. These pins are just going into the drywall, so the caulk adds a bit of holding power. The top trim goes in next, tight to the first piece, along the laser line and secured as before. Here's where my technique may be a bit different. I set the bottom piece in place, tight to the left piece, but only secure it with one pin. Then the right piece goes in tight to the top, again with just one pin. Now we can snug up the last corner and secure the last two pieces with extra fasteners. I'll add some details along the stairway as well, and those angles are a bit more complicated. I start with laying out my 4-inch space for the top and bottom and determine the start and stop points of these frames. For those, I did have to fudge the 4-inch spacing just to make everything visually appealing.
If you're working with straight walls and level areas, chair rails and the decorative frames below them are an easy upgrade for your home. If you've got bumpy walls, odd light switches, and stairs, it adds a bit of a challenge. And remember, once that laser's off, those subtle adjustments that you had to make will never be noticed. Once the seams are caulked, the nail holes are filled, and that last coat of paint goes on, it's going to look great. Once I started this project, I was asked to add a few more frames than I was planning on, so I ran out of material before I finished. And since it's a special order, it's going to be a few more days before I can get back and finish the detail on the stairway. But when I do, I'm going to bring you along so you can see how I figure out all those weird angles. Love to hear your thoughts on this video. Is there something I could have done easier, safer, smarter? Drop them in the comments below. As usual, I'll add some links to some of the tools and equipment I use in the video and some of the stuff I use here in the shop on a daily basis. If you need one of those things and purchase it through that link, it does help keep this channel going. If you enjoyed this video, maybe give us a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you haven't already, it's time to hit that subscribe button and the little bell so you get notified each time I put out a new video. The goal is to wrap up the trim on the stair for the next video. I think we can do that. So until then, have a great day, stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Bye.